Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to another episode of the Sacred Path Recovery Podcast, formerly known as the Jimers Rents Podcast. Today's topic will be discussing the WellBriety Meeting format. My name is James Francis. This is Professor Katie O'Connor. And once again, we're coming to you from the New Mexico State University Grants Branch Recording Studio here in the library, which is open to the public for anyone that wishes to come in and use it. Within the next couple of days or few days, I'm hoping to start hosting a WellBriety meeting here once again. And it's going to be open to the public. And it is also going to be in the hybrid format where you can also zoom in. And so what I wanted to do was take the time in this episode is to kind of give a demonstration of the WellBriety Meeting format. And so we're going to go down the line of how we open up the meetings, how we host or how the meetings are hosted, and basically what the overall purpose of attending meetings is and what role it plays in the recovery process. So usually there is a designated host of every single meeting. It doesn't always have to be the same person. If anyone wants to step up and be the host of the meeting, they have that ability to do so. So we have a little template paper here that kind of gives an outline of how the meeting starts. And usually what we do is we say, "Welcome to the Rough Cuts WellBriety Meeting. My name is James Francis, and I am a member of the WellBriety crew. Can we start this moment off with a moment of silence or prayer for our relatives who still suffer, followed by if you choose to, a smudge." And we usually have the sage bowl in the middle of the altar that we set up. And that sage gives the people attending, if they choose to do so, that ability to smudge themselves off of any kind of negativity that they may have on them, and at the same time, call upon those positive blessings and energy to enter the room and fill their minds, fill their hearts, and just clothe them with all those good things that we wish to bring to the meeting as well as take away. So after we start the meeting opening the meeting with a prayer, for the newcomers, we take the time to introduce everyone, and we give an explanation of what our altar is. And if you look back at the altar from the previous podcast, there's a picture of it, and usually what it consists of in the centerpiece is a abalone shell, and within that abalone shell is a sage, and that's the sage that we light, as I said before, to purify ourselves and to take away that negative energy, and at the same time take our prayers, take our thoughts up to the spirit, and carry it out to the world, to those people that are searching for those good words and encouragement. After we do that, continuing with the altar. So the altar has a red cloth on it. And what that red cloth is meant to symbolize is the entire universe. On top of that red cloth is a multicolored cloth of red, yellow, black, and white. Those various colors are meant to represent the ethnicities of the world, meaning that the meeting is open to all people who wish to attend. And a good example is right here on my shirt, if you can see it. So it's red, yellow, black, and white. And that's what that means. We also have a water on the altar, and that's meant to symbolize that you always have something to offer your guests who come into the rooms. We have that chair, that symbolic empty chair for those people who are still trying to find their ways into the rooms, and various other items that have been added. Every meeting has its own altar that's unique in its own way, depending on what culture you come from, or it can be anything that an individual wishes to put on the altar for the meeting or to donate to the altar, so that way it remains on the altar whenever it's set up. But all these things are something that are very significant to the person that's donating it or placing it on the altar. And, it means a lot. So we respect those things that are put on the altar in terms of what they mean to the other individuals that place them there. So we ask at the beginning of every meeting if there is someone here for the first time, and if so, could they please introduce themselves? So say I'm new to the group, and I could say my name is James. I'm a recovering alcoholic, recovering drug addict. Or you can just introduce yourself as, my name is James. However you want to introduce yourself, and whatever is comfortable for you. We also begin the meeting by recognizing the milestones, whether you have 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, years, multiple years. And if anyone here is celebrating those lengths of sobriety, we offer them the coins, the 1 month coin, the 1 year coin. And those things also play a very significant role in an individual's recovery because, that's a milestone that every individual should be proud of being able to attain. So if you wish to accept the coin, we give it to you with prayer, with love, and encouragement and blessings. And, I still have a lot of the coins that were given to me, and they mean a whole lot to me because I can look back at it and just remember those times of when I was making my way along. So after we do that, then we go ahead and we open up the meeting with the purpose of the group. And the purpose of the group it states, we gathered this day in our sacred circle to share our recovery stories and to lend a hand to the brothers and sisters who come here to overcome alcoholism and addiction. There are thousands of us sober and growing each day in our spirituality. This group reaches out to the newcomer, man or woman, red or yellow, black or white. We believe that the Creator has the power to help the hopeless alcoholic, addict, get sober, stay sober, and make us into the human beings the Creator originally intended us to be. After we get done reading the purpose of the group, we read the introduction. And the introduction states that the Red Road to WellBriety is an invitation to take the Red Road journey. The term WellBriety is an affirmation that recovery is more than the removal of alcohol and other drugs from an otherwise unchanged life. WellBriety is a larger change in personal identity and values and a visible change in one's relationship with others. It is about physical, emotional, spiritual, and relational health. WellBriety is founded on the recognition that we cannot bring one part of our lives under control while other parts are still out of control. It is the beginning of a quest for harmony and wholeness within the self, the family, and the tribe. The WellBriety path does not compete with AA or other pathways of personal recovery, but instead enriches those pathways by embracing them within the web of Native American tribal histories and cultures. After that, we follow that up with the 12 steps for Native Americans. And these are the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, the 12 steps of Narcotics Anonymous. But as I stated in the other podcast, that they're just based around the Native American values and beliefs. So it goes. Face the east, finding our Creator. Step 1, honesty. We admitted we were powerless over our addiction, that we had lost control of our lives. Step 2, hope. We came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could help us regain control. Step 3, faith. We made a decision to ask for help from a higher power and others who understand. Face the south, finding ourselves. Step 4, courage. We stopped and thought about our strengths and weaknesses and thought about ourselves. Step 5, integrity. We admitted to the Great Spirit, to ourselves, and to another human being the things we thought were wrong with ourselves. Step 6, willingness. We are ready with the help of the Great Spirit to change. Face the west, finding our relatives. Step 7, humility. We humbly ask a higher power and our friends to help us to change. Step 8, forgiveness. We made a list of people who are hurt by our drinking and using and want to make up for these hurts. Step 9, justice. We are making up to those people whenever we can, except when to do so will hurt them more. Face the north, finding our elders' wisdom. Step 10, perseverance. We continue to think about our strengths and weaknesses, and when we are wrong, we say so. Step 11, spiritual awareness. We pray and think about ourselves, praying only for the strength to do what is right. Step 12, service. We try to help other alcoholics and addicts and to practice these principles in everything we do. Within the meeting, before it starts, you can also ask other individuals if they wish to read some of the openings. So I've asked Miss O'Connor if she can please read the WellBriety traditions.
So, one, our personal recovery depends on the knowledge of interconnectedness. The honor of one is the honor of all. The hurt of one is the hurt of all. We are related to all things. Number two, our leaders are to conduct themselves as servant leaders. We lead by serving the people. 3, everyone is welcome who is fighting alcohol or other abuses. Red, yellow, black, and white. Each individual decides if they belong. 4, the message we need to give to newcomers is that recovery is possible. This is our only message. 5, as a group, we have no affiliations or opinions with outside issues. 6, we honor the circle. Who you see here, what you hear here, and when you leave here, leave it here. 7, group decisions. We believe the group is guided by the Creator who will express himself through the people. We will vote by show of hands, who is for and who is against. After the vote, each of the minority vote will have a chance to speak again and then vote again. 8, each group will work on self-sufficiency. Any extra money will be used as a giveaway. 9, spirituality is defined by yourself. 10, leave your ego at the door. 11, each group is carrying the message of recovery. This message cannot be hidden. 12, sacrifice, to make sacred, respect, honor, non-judgmental. When the group has these, they must be given away to keep them. This will ensure the attraction of new members. Walk the talk.
And now I have asked Miss O'Connor to also read the Code of Ethics.
The Native American Code of Ethics. 1, rise with the sun to pray. Pray alone and pray often. The Great Spirit will listen if only you speak. 2, be tolerant of those who are lost on their path. Ignorance, conceit, anger, jealousy, and greed stem from a lost soul. Pray that they find guidance. 3, search for yourself by yourself. Do not allow others to make your path for you. It is your road and yours alone. Others may walk with you, but no one can walk it for you. 4, treat guests in your home with much consideration. Serve them with the best food, give them the best bed, and treat them with honor and respect. 5, do not take what is not yours, whether from a person, a community, the wilderness, or from a culture. It was not earned or given. It is not yours. 6, respect all things that are placed upon the earth, whether it be people or plant. 7, honor other people's thoughts, wishes, and words. Never interrupt another or rudely mimic them. Allow each person the right to personal expression. 8, never speak of others in a bad way. The negative energy you put out into the universe will multiply when it returns to you. 9, all persons make mistakes, and all mistakes can be forgiven. 10, bad thoughts cause illness of the mind, body, and spirit. Practice optimism. 11, nature is not for us, it is a part of us. The land is part of your worldly family. 12, children are the seeds of our future. Plant love in their hearts and water them with wisdom of life's lessons. When they are grown, give them space to grow. 13, avoid hurting the hearts of others. The poison of your pain will return to you. 14. Be truthful at all times. Honesty is the test of one's will within the universe. 15. Keep yourself balanced. Your mental health, spiritual self, emotional self, and physical self all need to be strong, pure, and healthy. Work out the body to strengthen the mind. Grow rich in the spirit to cure emotional ills. 16. Make conscious decisions as to what you will be and when you will react. Be responsible for your own actions. 17. Respect the privacy and space of others. Do not touch personal property of others, especially sacred or religious objects. This is forbidden. 18. Be true to yourself first. You cannot nurture and help others if you cannot nurture and help yourself. 19. Respect others' religious beliefs. Do not force your beliefs on others. 20. Share your good fortunes with others. Participate in charity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then after the code of ethics, we follow it up with the elders meditation. And there's a book of 365 days of elders meditations. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring the elders meditation, but I can share with you November 17th, which was my elders meditation of my very first meeting that got me on track. And this is where it all started for me in terms of my sobriety and where I'm standing now. And it says, for November 17th, humbleness means peace and honesty. Both mean Hopi, true, honest, perfect words. That's what we call Hopi words. In all languages, not just in Hopi. We strive to be Hopi. We call ourselves Hopi because maybe one or two of us will become Hopi. Each person must look into their heart and make changes so that you may become Hopi when you reach your destination. Percy Lomakwahu Hopi. And it says, the Creator has made available to us all the laws, principles, and values which we need to know to live in harmony. The Creator also designed each human being to learn and grow by trial and error. We have tools to help us live the right way. We have prayers, visions, nature, teachers, elders, and we have the Great Spirit to talk and ask for help when we have problems. We also have choice. To walk the red road takes courage and a lot of prayer. Creator, give me courage to walk the red road. And then after we read the elders meditation, we let the group know that the floor is now open. Most groups usually have an eagle feather or a talking stick that recognizes the person that chooses to pick it up. That, the rest of the group should give them the respect and courtesy of not interrupting them or talking while they're giving their share within the meeting. And that and the way we do it with our group is that if they want to talk on the elders meditation and what it means to them, or any other topic, that they're free to do so. And that's how we start the meetings off. And from there, every person that wishes to share for the meeting is given that ability to do so. And like I said, for me, it was that elders meditation that just, it being from a Hopi elder, it seemed much more than coincidence for me that it should come from a Hopi elder that very, very night that I was sitting in the room. And just something about it resonated with me, to my heart. I mean, I remember reading it and just getting choked up. I couldn't even read the whole thing, and I had to keep stopping. And but that's where it started, that's where it started. And so we do that, and everyone gets that chance to go ahead and share. But what these meetings mean for me is that ability to kind of let it all off and get that monkey off your back, I guess, or that burden off of your shoulders. Because one of the things that we stress about the meetings is the confidentiality, that anonymity that we talk about, of what you see here, what you hear here, leave it here. For anyone that has any kind of trust issues, I know for me, it took a while to kind of understand that, whatever I share in the meeting is going to stay there. I wasn't gonna go out there and talk to other people about what so and so said, and I expected the same of not being of whatever I was sharing, or if I was crying and bawling my eyes out in the meeting that I was, doing that. But um, these meetings mean a lot to me, and it really does. The more I look back on them and analyze them in that sense of how they allow me to decompress, de-stress, to let it all out, it really does. It plays a big, big role.
And you can also let go of a lot of trauma. They're
Yeah.
walking that path is a really difficult thing for everyone, and you don't get off the path without releasing some of the pain along the way. And these WellBriety meetings, as in AA or NA, they're opportunity to release some of that pain, to tell your story, to let it go, to and to release and to move on and to heal. And the group is there to support you in that process. And again, those rules of confidentiality are very important.
Yep.
You cannot walk away and then talk about someone without that bad energy revisiting you somehow someday. So I'm a very big believer in, if you gossip or say something about somebody that hurts them or harms them, or even if it doesn't, it still will come back to haunt you, that negative energy. So it's very important that we adhere to the rules of confidentiality, and remember that we're all here to help support each other. We're
Yes.
here to lend a helping hand. We're here to help each other heal in the process.
Yeah, for me, and I speak a lot in this discussion from my own personal experience, because what it meant for me was having that ability to find someone who was where I was sitting and be able to empathize and not judge me because of what I was doing or where I was coming from. And it's that ability to find that fellowship of like-minded people. And now that's why I always stress that what I'm doing these days is taking that service out. And it says in number 12 that we got to practice these principles in everything we do. Another one of the most important ones that it talks about is that the message of recovery cannot be hidden. This is one of the things that we stress, or I stress highly, to others, is that what I'm doing here is doing my best to carry this message of recovery to other people out there. And it gets easier for me because the longer I've been doing this, um, there was a point in time when I felt unsure of myself, like, am I really in the right position to be doing this at this time? But it's not about giving advice, and it's not about sharing war stories, but it's just about lending that ear for people to sit there and felt that they're being heard, without being judged and without being, criticized, or because the addict's mind is still in a very I don't want to say unstable, but still in a doubtful area when you're first coming out of that haze and that fog of addiction and substance abuse. And a lot of times you're unsure of some of these things. But like I said, that fellowship plays a very, very big part. And I know that it's it's group therapy is basically what it is. And the WellBriety program is not just for substance abuse. It can be for the various traumas that we all face within our communities, whether those traumas are PTSD, domestic violence, some of the bad things that that some of us have to struggle through, and unfortunately it kind of it leads into substance abuse. But these meetings are there for people to come and
These meetings are really focused on wellness, and wellness is available to everyone, no matter what path you walk. Um, Traditionally, in AA or NA or WellBriety, um, people, research has indicated that people that attend the meetings, the more they attend the meetings, the longer they attend the meetings, the healthier they get. Not only do they release the addiction, um, but they recover and they move on to leading greater lives, finding out who they really are, why they're here, what's their purpose on the earth. And they tend to be healthier and live longer and have more resources to live their life. They also have more fellowship and friends that are willing to be there and support them through their lives. And so it's a great opportunity to reach out and find like-minded people
Yep.
that are willing to ground themselves in these ideas and to take part in the fellowship and the ceremony
Mm-hmm.
of health and wellness.
And I think one of the biggest hurdles or one of the biggest obstacles that we have coming from some of the smaller communities, like out on the reservation or even here in Grants, is that, we're not a very, very big network compared to, like, say, Portland or some of the bigger cities where you can go to a meeting and it'll be a room full of like 30 to 50 people. And one of the recommendations that they always say is go to a meeting and find yourself a sponsor. But it's very hard when you go to a meeting and there's like 5 of you there, and maybe 3 of you don't even have over 90 days yet. So, but I didn't necessarily follow the traditional method of finding myself my sponsor. I had my mentor, Mr. Phil Garcia, out there, and he more or less took on that sponsor role. And but that's your sponsor or your mentor plays a big part in your early recovery. And it is important that you establish that kind of you find that person that's going to help you along the way and who willingly wants to take you on this on that journey and help you to kind of get back on your feet. So
Right. I would recommend for everyone to find a mentor, find someone that you look up to, somebody that you trust, somebody that somebody that doesn't judge you, that is willing to give you a clear view, a different perspective of what you're doing or where you're at in your life, and someone that can lend you a helping hand and say, "Hey, I'm here for you, whatever you're going through, whether you're detoxing from these chemicals or whether you're just trying to walk the path and live life." Having someone on your side that can be there for you is really important. And I would recommend that for everyone.
yeah, and even if you can't find a sponsor, just going to a meeting and finding someone with that significant amount of clean time, they're going to be there to guide you along the way the best they can. If they're not necessarily able to take on that mentor or sponsor sponsor title to help you, but they are definitely going to do the best they can to help you, and I'll do the best I can to help you too as well. Another good part of the meetings that we host and why we do them is that they're there for the fellowship, to establish that fellowship of having someone to talk to who understands you, that allows you to get that encouragement and that reinforcement whenever you have that feeling of doubt, that feeling of, oh, I'm gonna go and drink. That's when it's most important to pick up that phone, call them up, and just let them know, and they'll talk you down, because these moments will pass. There's that cliche saying that's pretty much in every AA and recovery room, that this too shall pass. So as long as you can get past that moment, it's going to be all right. And that's where calling your sponsor or calling a friend and having them just, help you get through that moment, it's going to keep you on that path.
And learning tools to release those emotions, to recognize where you're at in them, whether it's taking a deep breath, whether it's moving into a meditative state, whether it's going for a walk in nature, whatever it is. There's all these kinds of tools. If you can intervene into your thoughts, into your emotions at that moment when you're most struggling, and either call your sponsor, call a mentor, or do something take out your bag of tools, like your bag of tricks to calm down your emotions, to look at them, whether that's writing in a journal,
Yep.
whether that's singing a song or saying a prayer, engaging in meditation or exercise, taking care of yourself. But it takes that moment of waking up to the moment of, uh, I'm having these emotions or I'm feeling like I'm in crisis. So where's my list? Call your sponsor, call for help, get somebody to come or be with you during these times when you're having these struggles, because that can make all the difference.
And that's basically the whole purpose of inpatient treatment, is to help the individual establish those routines. And once you establish those routines, it lays that foundation of allowing you to start practicing these healthy habits. You make it a habit.
Right.
And one of the things that they were always on every single morning was you get up and you make your bed. And making that bed first thing in the morning, that's at least saying that you've accomplished something and you have something in order, and it gives you that. So, like you said, once you establish these positive routines in your life of journal keeping, of attending meetings on a regular basis, of exercising, it starts rewiring your brain to that old brain of finding that dopamine and that satisfaction in drugs and alcohol, to finding that satisfaction in exercise, in writing your thoughts, in expressing your happiness in your paintings, whatever it may be. It allows you to do that for yourself.
Exactly. And even when you're doing something as mundane as making your bed, you can set an intention when you're doing it. Like,
Hmm.
this is going to be a great day. I'm going to have a good day.
Yep.
This is a perfect day, and I'm making my bed, and I'm hoping, I'm wishing, I'm praying that all good things happen for me today. And you sort of, when you make that bed, you end yesterday and you get up and you start brand new with a new intention for the day, and then you move on. For example, I like to do what I call quantum shower. You
Hmm.
get in the shower and you basically imagine all of the grief, sorrows, the pains of yesterday washing away. And
Yeah.
in replace of that, you get love and light and energy and happiness and joy. And you step onto a new timeline. You're a new self every time you step out of the shower. So these are tools and techniques that can help you keep your mind on wellness.
And for some of the people out there that kind of wonder what this means, for those of us that have that exercise routine, I know that when we get into that good habit, we get that kind of sense of, if we miss a day or if we miss any kind of a few days of making it to the gym, we kind of get all like antsy, and it's like, oh, I got to get back to the gym. That's exactly what it is when you start doing these positive things. Um, there have been, and I can't lie about this, there have been those times when I'm just like, I don't want to go to a meeting today. And for me, what I've come to understand and realize, that it's okay to take those breaks. Sometimes if you need to take that break, because what I've realized for myself is that if I force myself over and over and over to do something like that, it kind of, I think for me, it would cause a resentment. If I'm being forced to do something that I don't want to do. But at the same time, I know that I was fully prepared to take on that challenge. So I gave myself those breaks whenever I needed them, but I made sure that I kept going to my meetings, and to this very day I still do. um I make a meeting at least once a week, and I look forward to these meetings. It's that time when I get to reconnect with my fellowship of friends, of family that also are in this journey with me of recovery. And it, as I stated to them before, it makes me happy because not only does it give me the chance to see that they're still doing okay, but it gives me the chance to show them that I'm still doing okay, and we're all doing it together still to this day by day, and it makes me very, very happy. And um, that's why once you establish that real strong fellowship and that friendship with others, you become way more than friends. You become family in recovery. And we host out at the where I live. We have like certain days in the month when we'll get together and have like our little cookouts or bingos, and that just brings us together to have that ability to just be happy together and celebrate these and do positive things that don't necessarily call for drugs and alcohol like before, so
Right. Well, there's a power in fellowship, and there's a power in friendship, and there's a power in sharing your story. And when you can get to a place where you have unity with other people, it just reinforces that level of health. And when you talk about the gym, going to the gym and then missing going to the gym, your body gets antsy. You want to go feel the burn of working out. And it's the same with health. Eventually, you want to replace your cravings for alcohol or drugs with other cravings. Like I was just telling one of my students that I've gotten to love my yogurt with my walnuts and cinnamon and things that I put in it, and that I crave it because I was trying to get more protein into my diet. And so you do the healthy things. After a while, you begin to crave the healthy things. You don't crave the alcohol or the addiction doesn't rule you. Instead, it's more of a healthy addiction. It's more
yeah.
for looking for that mushroom coffee or that that dandelion coffee, or like I said, the healthy food. All of a sudden you crave that because it makes your body feel good.
Oh, yeah, and this goes back to what we were talking about in the last podcast, was that frequency and that vibing at the same level. When we come together like that, we're all vibing at that level of wanting to do better for ourselves, so
Right.
I've had experiences where certain individuals will come into the meeting, and you can read them. Once you get to know a certain person or certain people, you can tell when they're having their off days just by how they carry themselves or how they look. But by the end of the meeting, just because they've been around people of that positive energy, they leave that meeting happier and in a better mindset than what they came in before. And I've experienced it myself personally, and that's why sometimes when I haven't been able to make a meeting, I go out of my way to find a meeting somewhere, whether it's driving all the way to Laguna to go to AA, or just trying to connect with friends and bring myself up in that positive manner to do that. So
We call it raising the vibration.
yep.
Raising up the vibration is something that you hear a lot in the New Age community. You hear people talk about, oh, raise your vibratory rate, raise your frequency. And what we're talking about is energy. It's a level of energy that is not found in despair or anger or pain or sorrow. Um, to raise your vibration is to raise your emotional level, so that when you're happy, when you're exhilarated, when you're thrilled with life, when you're excited about what your future is going to bring for you, or you're excited about what you're doing, those things raise your vibration. It raises your vibratory rate. And the theory is you raise your vibration, you attract greater things to yourself. People talk about attracting prosperity and love and happiness and joy. It starts with you. You have to reach that point where you are happy or excited or in love with life, and then life will bring those things to you. And when you meet in fellowship with a like minded group, when you raise your voice in prayer or affirmation or song, you're raising the vibration, and you're bringing that level of happiness and joy into your life and into everyone else's life. This is why it's so important for groups to meet when they need to overcome something like an addiction.
And that's why I like the Native American Code of Ethics. You know, this is something that's unique to the WellBriety. I know that AA and Narcotics Anonymous, which I refer to a lot, they have the 12 steps and they have the 12 traditions. And these are word for word, just minor alterations of what every program does. But what Miss O'Connor was speaking of is directly related to number 8 in the Code of Ethics, which is never speak of others in a bad way. The negative energy that you put out into the universe will multiply when it returns to you. And I believe that. And, you know, the whole purpose of these meetings is that we come to the meetings with the intention of healing, you know, healing ourselves, of helping others to heal themselves as well. And um, I can't say enough good things about the meetings. And there have been those times when, like I said before, I come to these meetings at a loss of certain things that are going on in my life, and I'm trying to find the answers to them. Like, what do I have to do to do this or to accomplish this, you know, or why is it this way? You know, sometimes I have these questions and I don't know what the answer is. But the moment that someone else comes in and they share what's on their mind, you know, somewhere in there, I found the answer many times, and it's like there it is, you know.
Yeah.
And that's that ability to share with others this wisdom, you know. And you will be surprised at where these inspirational moments come. And I've had sometimes, you know, because at certain points our meetings were like two people, me and the brother or me and the sister, and it's just us. And but it's those very small meetings like that where I've had the most groundbreaking, mind mind opening thoughts, you know, because I've been allowed to speak and just let it flow. Other times it's kind of like I feel myself forcing it, but I still feel that I should try my best to share, to get that meeting rolling on what that elders meditation means to me, and do the best I can. But yeah, so
Right. Well, it brings a level of joy when you're able to uplift other people as well as yourself, and this is why you like to help people. You like to reach out and offer a helping hand to somebody in need, because that feeling comes back, that feeling of gratitude and happiness. And this is another reason we do the podcast. We want to reach out to people and say, hey, you can do this. We're here to support you in this process, and you can do it.
and so going back to the history of what the WellBriety program is, I was first introduced to the WellBriety program back in 2018 when I first went up to Portland, Oregon for treatment. I went to the NARA program, and it's a 90-day inpatient treatment center. And that's where I first found out what the WellBriety movement is all about. It was started, I think, in the 90s by Mr. Don Coyes, who's still around, and they have conferences all across the whole United States. And the book explains, you know, what it is and how it's still growing and moving along. And I think that it's amazing because, you know, we have something that allows us to kind of have something to grasp onto readily in terms of being able to um, tailor each meeting to what our cultures are, you know. So, and I've had the experience and the honor of being able to go to other communities and sit in on their meetings and see, you know, how they do it. But we're all basically the same, and what it all boils down to is these code of ethics and the 12 steps and the 12 traditions of, you know, honoring one another, of treating each other. The hurt of one is the hurt of all, the pain of one is the pain of all, but the honor of one is the honor of all, and, you know, the healing of one is the healing of all. And and that's where it is for me these days. And that's why I want to do what I'm doing, and that's why it's creator and the universe and the divine is pushing me, I feel, to do this and to open up these meetings, because I feel that our county unfortunately is very limited in resources and places where people who are looking for a place to go can find a place, you know.
Right. Well, then the other thing, the thing that you just said about the honor of one is the honor of all. When we really think about it, we all affect each other. We're all energetic beings. And what one of us does it will affect everyone. All of you who listen to the podcast or come to meetings, you're going to be influenced by our energy, by the positivity, by the desire to create wellness in your lives. And we're all there. And I think the the United States probably at this time needs that honor of one and the honor to the honor of all
Yeah.
code of ethics, and we all can use that philosophy, that life philosophy, um, to benefit everyone, and that's why we're all here. That's why we're here.
Yeah, and it makes me happy. I think in my second year of sobriety is when I first was able to tell my story to a large crowd, and I did it at the Red Road Conference in Albuquerque. And when you share your story, it's more or less just giving people an idea of, you know, where you were in terms of your life, you know, how your life went into this turmoil for me, my turmoil, and how you came out of it and where you're standing now. And, you know, I still want to share my story with all of you. And, but I think that's for another time. But, yeah, we're going to start hosting the meetings here at the New Mexico State University campus. I forgot to bring the flyer, but it's going to be at the Lucy Bell Mall.
Yeah, it's at Lucy Bell Hall. That's
Hall.
the Teacher and Health Education Building in room 113. So that's right when you walk in the front door. It'll be to your left. It's a big room, and we'll offer snacks and goodies for anybody that comes.
Coffee.
Coffee.
It's going to be on Zoom, so I'm going to go ahead and probably once we get the flyer, we have a QR code, but it's giving us a little bit of issues right now. But we're going to put up the Zoom link number, so if you guys are unable to make it into the grants area, but you still wish to attend, you can Zoom in and link up onto the meeting. And the great thing that the one thing that I like about the Zoom meetings for individuals that kind of have that reluctance about going into meetings in person is that it gives you that ability to kind of just zoom into the meeting, but you don't necessarily have to show your face. You know, you can listen to the words and everything, and
Right.
still hear those, share those words of wisdoms if you so choose to do so. And we have a lot of friends up in the San Felipe area that used to Zoom in with us a lot. We've had people Zoom in from Oklahoma, from California, Arizona, and at that time it was pretty amazing that how big, how wide your grasp is when you use that technology to carry that message out there to a lot of people. And it seems to me that every person from every region, you know, has their own take on it, and it's good to hear. And I've been able to connect and network with a lot of people that I've been able to hear their stories and share with them mine as well. And it feels good to know that it's a big movement of what we're doing now. So
Yeah, it's wonderful to be able to share traditions and find commonalities in those traditions. But I just want to remind everyone, next week on Wednesday, the 26th at 6 o'clock. That's February 26th, at 6 o'clock at the Lucy Bell Teacher and Health Education Building, room 113. Everyone is welcome. Everyone is welcome. So come join us, and we'll be there for you.
yes, red, yellow, black, white, every individual decides if they belong. And basically that was the whole purpose of this podcast, was to kind of give you an idea of what the meetings are all about. Whatever you want to make of them, you know, is what you put into them as well. They've done a lot for me If it wasn't for the meetings, I can tell you that I would not be sitting here in front of you sober today. Um, a little bit of what it was that at the time, after I had relapsed in 2021, my first intention was to try to get back into an inpatient treatment. And I spoke to the brother Phil, who was working with Acoma Behavioral Health Services at the time. And I said, man, I need to go back to treatment. Can you get me back into Oregon, up to NARA, so I can go back to treatment? And he was like, yeah, but we can't get you in today or even not even next week. He said, but start coming to the meetings and we'll start working on finding you a bed at a treatment. So I did. And, that's how it started for me. And it turned into, from me needing to go back into inpatient treatment, to just me taking that first step of getting back right on track. And like I said, he was there for me to help me along. So I'm thankful for that, in terms of not going back, of having to go back into the inpatient treatment. But
Right.
that's why these meetings mean so much to me, why it means a lot to me, actually, because of what it's been able to do for my life, and how I've been able to turn it around just on what I've learned in the WellBriety meetings as well.
That's right. It's been a lifeline for you. So these meetings can be a lifeline for you too. I'm speaking to everyone out there
Mm-hmm.
that may be interested. Just remember, we're at the Grants campus. I'm Kathleen O'Connor, and this is James Francis. And we'll be on February 26th in the Lucy Bell Ma Teacher and Health Education Building, room 113. And if you need more information, you can always find us here at the college.
Mm-hmm.
My number is 505-287-6693.
And my number is 505-290-5982.
You can always call for more information, and we hope to see you then.
Yeah, and these meetings are, for me, one last thing before we go. These meetings mean so much because, as it states in the book, it's that chance for us to start making a change in these vicious cycles that we've been caught in. And, as long as there's a few of us out there that are willing to take that leap of faith into what these positive things have to offer, learn them, take them, and share them with others, it's going to start to grow like that seed, that proverbial seed that they talk about. And once it grows and we nurture it and continue to take care of it, it's going to continue to grow and strengthen. And the positive things that we want to take from it, it's going to help us in the long run. But yeah, definitely stay tuned.
And one last thing, when you heal yourself, you heal the world. And so this healing energy that you use to heal yourself will go out, and we hope that it'll go out to everyone, and to everyone goes on to their children, to their families, and we hope that's what happens, that it goes out to everyone who needs it.
But I'd like to thank everyone that's going to tune in and see this podcast. And until next time, we'll see you. Have a good day and stay blessed.
Bye.